I thought about it, but I thought she walked back here. Now I gotta stay in the middle. We'll zoom it a little bit.
Okay, so business communications. When I'm networking, I'm going to talk differently than when I'm conducting a meeting, right? So if I'm at the business after hours social at the chamber, I'm going to network. I'm going to say, you know, how's things going? How's the family? How's the kids? How's this and that? How's school? And then we may get talking a little bit about, you know, I've got this project. I did this last night. We had, I belong to a women's group. And so I was visiting with Connie Helbush. If you know Connie, they have dual lift. And we were visiting, and I said, so by the way, I'm looking for a dual axle flatbed. And so we talked about that for a while. And she gave me some advice and some ideas. And then we went back to normal conversation. Okay. That's networking. You know who they are, you know what they can help you with. Another example. Went to St. Ed on Wednesday. And it's a group called Community Connection. And we go around to the different small communities 4 times a year. So in the car was another college person, chamber person, and a Drive for 5. Now Drive for 5 is trying to bring people into Columbus because we have so many jobs. We have over 5,000 to 6,000 jobs unfilled, and so they're always trying to recruit. But they're trying to recruit you guys to come back too. So, you know, we want you to go get your education, but then we, you know, want you to come back home. So I was talking about, you know, my daughter wanting to come back, and the lady from Drive for 5 says, oh, have her send me her resume, and I'll do some connections. Okay. That's networking. I didn't know that's what she did, but in conversation, I just networked 2 people together. Okay. You do that in business all the time. Phone etiquette. I'm going to add another one. Text etiquette. Phone etiquette, number 1, if you ever talk on your phone instead of texting. How many actually do talk on your phone? A little bit. I'm saying a little, okay. Smile when you're talking on the phone. It does come across in your voice. It really does. Okay. Sound confident, enthusiastic. Answer with some type of greeting. I have caller ID on my phone here at work. So most of the time I know who's calling me. So, but do I say, hi Sandy? No, I say, Central Community College, Doris speaking, hi Sandy. Okay. So answer with a greeting. This just means if you're in a business conversation on the phone that you have something to write on, and always thank them. Don't linger in a phone conversation any more than you would linger in the hallway talking to somebody. Text etiquette. It's fine to your friends that you abbreviate, that you put smiley faces, that you know, do your little shortcuts. Not when you're texting somebody professionally. When you're working with somebody, when you're working with your mentor, if you text them, spell out the words. LOL, what's that mean? I'm sorry? Okay. Could it mean other things? Yeah, I'm an old person. I don't know what that means. So I'm going, okay, what does that mean? What's another one that's real common?
Theory.
Yes. What's that mean?
Be right back.
Yeah. Do I know that? And what does right back mean? Your right back, my right back may not be the same. I will tell you, up to 2 years ago, we communicated with you guys via email. We sent your homework, we talked to you, we did all our communication via email. And you know what happened? You came to class Saturday morning and you said, well, I didn't see that. I didn't get that. You didn't get it? Well, I didn't see it. I don't check my email very much. I don't know what my email, you know, I'm not sure what my password is anymore. I don't know. Okay. So you educated us. So now what do we do? We send you a text to say, go to your email and get the information. My phone has email on it. I know when I get an email, I can open it up on my phone. You guys are texters. The next thing will be something else, but you guys, you know, and so sometimes you have to educate your people of how you want to communicate. Especially if you're working with different generations.
Oh, should you, like, if also, like, whenever, like, so people I notice use Mac and others use Microsoft. If you're a person who uses Mac and you're sending a document to a Microsoft person, should you transfer?
If you know, usually the system will do it automatically anymore. Yeah. That reminds me, some of you are sending your homework Google Docs. I put in the correct email address. That's why I wasn't getting it. So, and that's fine. Just put the right email address so I can get it. Okay. Right now you don't have employees, but in the future you may, and you may end up with some people helping you. Whether you're interviewing or doing the interview, key things to remember. Don't ask any question that doesn't apply to what you want them to do for the job. Have a job description so you can tell them what they expect. This is many years ago. But you know, tell them the little things. So I got my first job January. I graduated midterm, got employed right away. And my first class was at 9 o'clock. So I thought, well, I get there about 8:15, 8:30. Well, a couple days at that, they go, you know, you're supposed to be here at, you know, 7:30, quarter to late. Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me. Next thing was, where's the bathroom? Show them, when you show them around, show them where the restroom's at. It's important. If there's a lunchroom, tell them what the lunch hours are. Introduce them to people. Number one important person you want to get to know is the janitorial person. You hire a janitorial person, make sure that they are the right person. They are key to your operation, literally. Interviewing, nothing personal. You can't ask them if they're married. You can't ask them if they're single. If they put on that, you know, they talk about being married or not. my biggest pet peeve, when you could ask if they were, then they'd say, oh, you're single? Well, are you divorced? Single, single, doesn't matter. Married, married, doesn't matter. For women, totally not acceptable. You know, do you plan on having children or any more children? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You know, it's kind of out of my hands. Stay home men is getting more and more common. So you stayed home with the kids for 5 years. You have that lap in employment. Well, what did you do in the last 5 years? I took care of my children. Oh, really? Can't ask it. Has nothing to do with the job. Have you ever been arrested? Can I ask that? No. I can ask if you have a conviction, a felony. I can ask if you've had a felony. But I cannot ask if you've been arrested, because arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Until you become a major, you're no longer a minor, are all your minor offenses frozen? Technically, yes. But do you think I'm not going to know? I'm going to know. I am currently working with a young man. He's, well, how old did he say he was? 20, I think he said he's 27. He has 2 years left. He's in Leavenworth, Kansas. And he wants me to help him get his business going. I don't know what he's in there for. Doesn't matter. It may down the road, but it doesn't matter. He has no access to Google or any search engines, so I have to do the research and send it to him via letter. And it's going to be a very interesting connection. How do you get to Leavenworth? Either you did something when you were in the military, or you have a federal offense as a general population. So I know he's done one or two of those things. But for him to try to turn his life around and reach out in Columbus, Nebraska, I have no idea how he got my name. I think I know, but I haven't really checked it out yet. I have friends that teach in Leavenworth, Kansas. I kind of think that's probably how it happened. Okay, so managing key people, interviewing them, communications, critical. You will do this month a handbook. We call it a company policy. I give you examples. I tell you you have to have at least 4 things in there. It's in your materials. One of them is your policy on cell phone. Your policy on absenteeism. Those are 2 right now critical issues for employers. Please don't use the old standby. I'm going to, Jared, if I have to write you up once, I'll give you an oral warning, then I write you up once, then I put it in your personnel jacket, and then the 4th time you're The third time I give you some time off to think about it, and then I let you go. What have I just done as an owner? I locked myself into something, right? Because I said, that's the policy. So if I give you time off because you're on your third offense, and the third offense might be, again, I have my policy so tight that if you're 16 minutes late, you get written up. Don't lock yourself into something you may regret wanting to do. Jared's a good worker. He has to take the kids to school. There's traffic. I don't want to lose a good worker because, for 3 times he was late. Or Jared's wife left him, and so he goes on a drunken binge. And he doesn't come to work for a couple days. And I find out his wife left him, and I visit with him. He's ready to come back to work now. I can't have him come back to work because I have a policy. Don't lock yourself into something that you have to follow and you don't want to. You're a people employer, owner. And all of those are possible situations. True story. 2 cousins. The one cousin worked in a plant, in the actual plant. Had to punch in and out, right? Time clock. Now we do thumb scans for time clocks. So he scanned his thumb. His cousin worked in the office. No time clock. She was in office. Worked in the office. Nebraska, cold, dreary, sleety day. And the cousin in the office, car wouldn't start. She calls her cousin. Can you stop and pick me up? My car won't start. The cousin in the shop, he said, knowing they were going to be late at that point, said sure. They get to work, he thumbs in, he gets written up because he's over 15 minutes late. She walks in the office, starts working. Nothing said. So they go to the CEO and they go, we just have a little difficulty with this policy. I was being a good Samaritan. I picked up my cousin. I got reprimanded. I got penalized for getting her to work because we were both late, and nothing happened to her. What's the difference between working in the office and working in the shop? And the owner goes, good point. They pulled all the time clocks. You're on your own. If we can believe that people in the office are responsible people, why can't we believe people in the shop are responsible people? There are no time clocks in that business. And you go, hey, that sounds pretty cool. No. Because if you come in late, your supervisor knows that. And if you continue on a regular basis, you will get talked to. And they don't tolerate that type of behavior because you're not showing responsibility. You will be let go. But for the majority of the people working, they're responsible. Okay. Your policies, you will have identify how you are going to handle vacation and holidays. You're going to talk about how you're going to evaluate your employees. Right now, you can put it in if you want. This is so uncertain anymore. Benefit packages. the biggest benefit that employers typically give is some type of insurance, like health insurance, and that's so up in the air right now that most people don't even do that. And then, of course, you've been working on your mission statement. Okay? So these are some things to put in your policy manual, and the worksheet explains the rest of it. Okay. Oh, it's because I'm still up there. Okay, now we're going to talk about your homework and the business plan that you're going to have done throughout the course. And the first thing, I give you a white piece of paper. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to do a personal mind mapping. Now this is creativity. So you can be as creative if you want. I have colored markers. If you want to use them, I'll go and grab them. But this is what I want you to do. You're going to put yourself here. Okay? And then you're going to, when we get into the business, you're going to put your business here. And then you're going to have different components. In business, you're going to have management, you're going to have marketing, you're going to have accounting, you're going to have personal contacts, and that'll be your major lines. And then you go from there. So, this is me. Major, what I'm about. My family, my career, my qualifications, my affiliations, my organizations, and my businesses. Okay, I've just come up with that's my major things to describe me. My family, I had grandparents, and I could have addressed them specifically. I had aunt and uncles, I had parents. Those are all gone. I have a sister, she has a family, I could have went out further there. I am married, and then from that line, I have children. I have 2. I have a daughter that's married, and she has 2 children. Okay? My careers, I've been a coach. I have officiated. I have consulted. I work in college programs. That I need to update. For years, I've taught business education, co-op ed, personal development, and entrepreneurship. Those are the programs I've taught. And then I could take off from there. My consulting, I did co-op, startups, marketing, and coaching. Qualifications, that's my education. Affiliations are my education affiliations. My organizations are my local organizations here in town. And then my businesses, and you've heard me talk about, my core Red Apple and what I did through that, and then my farm. Okay? I'm going to give you about 10 minutes for you to develop your own. Because once you start thinking, mind-setting then it'll be easier when you start working on your business. Anybody want markers?
Can we do ours with the future line?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you can say future and then go from there. Absolutely. Here are all sorts of colored Sharpies. These are
Can't draw on my board.
oh, on your board.
Turquoise.
I was gonna say, I've got some on my desk.
Did you guys pick up one from Chicago?
She was talking to me about this, because I do not like kids. And then she asked me about it. She's trying to trick me. She does. She's very talented. Did you go introduce last year? Yes, we have. The kids like the for this year. Can't answer. I think we did. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did all. She tossed them straight and off them. She does. She's too dark. She's efficient. That's all right. This is showcase today. Thursday. I said, we can discuss. That's good because that's the date. Because we don't have this. Yeah. She no, from the no. It is everything. It does. Different numbers now.
Okay, how we doing? Okay, you may not get it all done, but are you getting an idea? So, let's talk a little bit about your homework assignment so you know what I'm talking about. You did this in class, so you'll get credit for that. The ones that aren't here, I'll work with them on that. If you want to read more about mind mapping, that's information sheet 7. Then the business plan, the canvas I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to give you some guidance on that. And then these are just some general reading. You have to know your, remember we talked about marketing, so you have to know your competition, what media is out there for you and what you plan on using. Social media, you can work on that, but we actually aren't going to have a social media person here till next time. And then what you just got through doing was the mind mapping for yourself. For a class, you're going to do mind mapping only for the human resource management on value propositioning and customer relations. And I'll come back to that. Then in the rule of thumb textbook, you have a chapter to read. It's on customer service, are the videos. Customers cost you money. So repeat customers are better because they're less expensive to you. So you want to keep your favorite customers happy. You want to keep all of them happy, but you know, if you have a good customer, you need to build that good customer relationship. Network mapping. Talk about that. We pulled worksheet 10 out because our attorney's not going to be here today. He's coming next time. And then we'll get into the customer canvas. So I want to go back to the canvas here. Because this is the key to your business plan. This is a creating part of the business plan. And as soon as it loads, it will start making sense to you. Okay, now, when you start working, you can always go back and review it, but there is a handout. This handout explains it too. In your 2.0 book, we're going to do it backwards. The very last chapter explains the canvas, and it takes it step by step. If you have your books, you can see that it says develop a winning business model, and that's the canvas. And then it says understanding your value proposition, and it gives you questions. If you can answer those questions, then you can do your square. It's just a bird's eye view on the chart. What you're going to do is you're going to take that and make paragraphs out of it, sentences and paragraphs. It says potential value propositions, and it gives you 5 potential value propositions. Outstanding service. Oh, gee, I can write a paragraph or 2 on what my outstanding service is for my customers. Convenience. No, I'm not sure my business is that convenient, so maybe I don't have anything on there. Affordable pricing. I've got good pricing. I know my pricing is going to be good. I don't know what it is yet, but I want to be in this range. So you can write a paragraph or 2 on that. Personalization and customization. I can write something on that. So once you get the image in your mind and you jot down a few words on the chart, then go over here and start developing the plan. And this you'll end up having it typed. Okay. And it does that for each one of them. Now you're not doing every segment this time. You go to project sheet 4, and you're only doing value propositioning and customer relations. And the same with your mind map. You're only doing value propositioning and customer relations. So you're going to draw out your mind map, get a visual, put a few words on your canvas, and then start typing your paragraphs. And the more you do now, the less you have to do in March. And it's all here. Questions on that part? Okay. It asked about what is the value of your customer, right? So let's take a look at the value of a customer. You have customer A, B, and C. Customer A buys $20 of your service or product every month. Let's say every week. How much is he valued to you? Let's use 50. So 50 weeks times 20 is what? 1,000, right? Okay. Customer B buys $300 every time he walks in the door, but he only comes in about 3 times a year. So he buys $300, but he's only coming in 3 times. Customer C, when you call him, he buys $200 every time you call him, but you only get around to calling him about 5 times a year. So he buys roughly about $200 each time, but you only get around to calling him 5 times. So if you didn't analyze their buying habits, we probably would have said this one was our valued customer, right? Because he buys a lot from us. But he doesn't buy all the time. These two are equal. So which do you think is your valuable customer?
A.
Why?
Because, like, they're like reoccurring.
He's consistent, right?
Yes.
He's consistent. For this one, what do you have to do?
Do the effort to get it.
You have a little effort. Now you want to keep them all, but this would be your valued customer. He comes on a regular basis. You probably don't even have to hardly say anything to him, and he buys his product. This one you have to do some marketing. Nothing wrong with that. He's still an important customer to you. So that's how you work through determining what a valued customer is to you. Now, maybe this was just a pain. He comes in, he's grumpy, he's not pleasant. You have to work with those people too. He's still a valuable customer to you.
Wouldn't you have to change them all to the same, like, time difference for comparison?
Right, yes you do. So I did a year here. This was a year comparison, yeah, you're right. Okay, questions? Questions on mind mapping, question on the canvas, the two topics you're going to work on. Read that last chapter. That's your biggest guide.
So chapter 6?
No, chapter 7. Right here. It's on your this month's calendar, chapter 7.
Starts on page 8.